What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster-in-chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, we're switching things up a tiny bit. It's still Meta Week, day 3, but I thought I would... well, first of all, I just have a quick couple of observations to make. As you can see, I'm here in my Untapped, for which I have the premium subscription. And I wanted to call to your attention the difference in the various levels and in the formats. So, as you can see, now we're on Bronze to Mythic. So that includes, you know, it's the entire meta. And Mono White and Boros Burn remain firmly on top, right up until, if you switch to Silver, I mean, things jiggle around a bit. But ultimately, the top two decks stay the same. Mono White, Boros Burn, Mono White, Boros Burn. Then you get to Diamond, and something interesting happens. Boros Aggro takes over. And then, of course, I think what happens here is that there's not that many people in Mythic, and I think also that not everybody that plays the game uses Untapped. So then once you go to Mythic, it runs out of data, essentially. There's just Boros Burn, which I found pretty hilarious. But other than that observation, which is quite interesting in and of itself, there's another thing that we can do where we switch it to best of 3. And then the meta is completely different. And for those of you who follow, you know, tournament results and that sort of thing, this won't surprise you in the slightest. Of course, having access to sideboards just changes the matchup completely. You can have a terrible game 1, but then just the perfect sideboard and answer to you know, all the various threats. And what's surprising to me is down here in Bronze is Mono Green Stompy is right at the top, and it's tie and tie with the win rates with Jeskai Hinata, which I was expecting to be the top deck. And then we do the same thing. We kind of slowly go up, and you see that Jeskai Hinata takes you know, over the top spot. There's Esper Midrange. I was expecting to be higher, but Tima Control seems to be the second most played deck in best of 3. Then into Platinum, Jeskai Hinata, Team and Control, Mono Green. Seems to be the main 3 decks. Right into Platinum. And we go to Diamond. Suddenly, Rakdos Midrange just appears out of nowhere. And I think a lot of the core of the real top Mythic players are people that are playing best of 3. Clearly, I mean, even just looking at their streams, a lot of them are on Twitch and YouTube and stuff, and you can go see they play best of 3, and also, you know, to practice for tournaments and whatever. Like the casual gamer and the majority of us play best of 1 because it's quick and fast, and you can play lots of games. But the people that actually are taking this seriously in a competitive way are playing best of 3, which is why the final little interesting bit of information that I wanted to show you guys from Untapped is when we go to Mythic. Rakdos Midrange is at the very, very top. And there's actually a lot more data than in the best of 1, where there's just Boros Burn. There's plenty of decks here in the top. So I thought over the next couple of days, why don't we play some best of 3 and experience how different the meta is in that environment, and play some of the top decks in you know, in that meta. You know, it is Meta Week after all, and so for tonight's brew, we're going to be looking at Rakdos Midrange, which appears to be the top dog as far as Mythic Best of 3 from February 10th until now. So, without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. I've left it... wait, let me just show you. There seems to be some very small differences in the lists. It's really just here in the mana base, where there's 2 Sorin the Mirthlesses, whereas here there's 2 additional Reckoner Bankbusters. Everything else is exactly the same. So yeah, I think there's a few adjustments that I've already seen that I would make myself that I think would be a little bit better. But I like to see the Bankbuster in there, of course. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's jump into tonight's brew. Meta Week, Day 3. Rakdos Midrange, Best of 3. Looks right up my alley. So I've already made one adjustment. I put in 2 Dread Fugues instead of the Duresses. But the original list had 2 duress here in the main. So let's probably just do that for now, and stick to the exact meta deck. So 3 Bloodchief Thirst, of course, 2 duress, and an additional 2 in the sideboard. Probably against Jeskai Hinata and Temur control, you would bring all of the stuff in here to deal with the counter spells, and you got to get rid of the important cards from their hands. Raven Feeblement, I'm assuming they bring in against mono white and any sort of type of aggro deck. I guess you bring in additional copies of Burn Down the House. You need more card draw. There's an additional 2 Bankbusters here in the side. I found interesting. Probably against the Goldspan Dragon decks, you bring in the Soul Shatters, a couple of Braids for the Anvil decks, that sort of thing. It's an interesting sideboard. I don't know if I would put this many Ray of Enfeeblements. From what we saw from the data, it doesn't appear as though mono white aggro in, I guess this is for Esper midrange, and they use this card against Rafine. It's the only thing I can think of why they would need to. I mean, it seems like a sideboard tech that's been around since the last set championship, and it surprises me that the meta hasn't shifted enough for them to think of other cards here in the side. But it's it's an interesting deck. The win cons seem to be quite strange. There's probably the main one copying Graveyard Trespasser with Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. I've had this done to me in the Best of 1 ladder as well. Some people trying to Best of 1ify this list. Of course, you've got the copying of the Bloodtithe Harvester with Kiki-Jiki to basically just remove anything, because you just keep making these blood tokens. Then there's a full play set of Valki, which obviously means it is Rakdos. We can play Tibalt, which is a great Planeswalker. No Obnixilis. And 4 Invoke Despairs, and some creature lands. That's essentially your win cons. I mean, you can swing in with a Bankbuster if we had put a Mech Hangar in here, which will definitely be one of the modifications that I'm going to make before the end of this video. But yeah, that's really it. It's an interesting, I don't know if I would really call this mid-range, but anyway. That's all I can really say about it. I think we all know these cards. There's not much else that needs to be said other than to take the deck for a spin and see how it performs. So let's jump into some games. As usual, at this point in my videos, if you guys could kindly consider subscribing to the channel. This is when I ask you guys to do it. I'll only do it once now and once at the end. I promise. So yeah, if you could subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, like the video. That also, those 2 things help the most, other than subscribing. And then if you could join the Discord community, that would also be pretty sweet. The link is in the description down below. All right, that's out of the way. Let's see if we can find a decent opponent. Jeskai Hinata is going to be quite interesting. There's way less people playing in Mythic and Best of 3 by the looks of it. It probably has to do a lot with certain times as well. So that's a pretty long wait time. Wow, that's very long. There we go. Who's it gonna be? Behemoth. See? Okay, so when it goes over a minute, I'd heard that this is what happens. It starts to look for people in the lower ranks. So that's interesting. But there was more data in Mythic on Untapped for Best of 3, but there seems to be less opponents. It's a very loud motorbike. I hope you guys can hear that. It's okay if we get Jawari'd. I'd rather this does than... Okay, so it's probably just Hinata. No? One of blue. Tempo, maybe. So I think we should be able to get through. Should we go for the Meathook? What do you think? That's cool. That's fine. We've got Invoke next turn. Okay, it's some sort of magecraft. Another Meathook's good against these types of decks. Okay. I've got the backup Trespasser, which is why I went for the Trespasser first, in case this gets countered. And we can just play another one next turn. I would rather that get countered than my Fable. That's fine too. That's not cool. That I don't dig at all. Pretty annoying. Third Invoke. Now we gotta keep this Fable alive, but I think, yeah, not much we can do about that. One goes down to 4. So what would we sub in against this? This is totally not a meta deck. Probably another Behold the Multiverse, if I were to make an educated guess. And if it is Soy coming... Now he does it. Ward discard a card is pretty nice against these types of decks, especially when he's got less than me. Okay. That's pretty annoying. It's incredibly annoying. Second copy of Tempted by the Auric. Probably never have had that cast against me once, ever. I'll probably use this again on the little 2/2 there. Or he may use the Hagra Mauling. Has he got enough black? No. But I guess he can use mana of any color. Is that how this thing works? Oh no, because it's a land. Okay, so you can only play it on its land side. I guess. I think that's how that works. How are we going to win this game? Might as well get it out of the way. What I should have done in retrospect is waited until next turn. Then I could have... okay, well, I can still do this. Okay, no, I can't. I need 3 power to crew the bloody Bankbuster. Okay. That's pretty decent. He has had counter spells though. Now we've got a backup Tybalt, so I'm not too worried. Oh baby, resolves.
Oh, so many painful memories.
Now we can crew the Bankbuster. See what he's got in his hand. Okay, Fading Hope. So he's going to Fading Hope either the Bankbuster or the Reflection of Kiki Jiki. So I'd rather he Fading Hopes the Reflection. So then I get to reset it next turn. Yeah. Okay. What do we bring in against this? I guess some hand hate. One more duress. Honestly, like, not entirely sure what I would do here. I felt pretty good just the way it was, honestly. A little bit more card draw, maybe? One more Bankbuster? Yeah, Very interesting decisions. I think so. One more Bankbuster, one less Valki. Again, as soon as we get into the next match, I think I'm going to bring in those Mech Hangars. Nice. Bunch of lands. Don't tell me you drew a freaking... Oh my god. Wow. Oh, start swinging with the den next turn. Never mind. So let's go grab run the black in case we top deck a invoke. Imagine he's found another Tempted by the Auric. Okay. Seems, even though we got that patch, the audio problems are still here. Absolutely no difference. Starting to lose some sound effects. I need to go do some news and announcements, snooping on the official website, see if there's any official communication about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 2 more for a Valki. Oh, that's a good step in the right direction. Sorry, not for a Valki, for a Tybalt. Of course, I had to throw my beautiful Godzilla lands. I think the mountain and the forests are like my 2 favorites. The swamp's not bad either. Yeah, the mountain is... That sucks. Luckily, Valki exiles artifacts. Something to take note of. Fading Hope. Make disappear? No, into the royal. Okay. That's fine. Woohoo! Doesn't have haste, so it's okay. I could have snagged it with the Valki, but... Perfect. Fine. Probably use the Relic Amulet to take out our Harvester now. That's okay. Sound effects have completely disappeared. Still need 1 more land for a Valki. I'm reluctant to blood token away my Harvester. Sorry, my Meathook Massacre. Just in case he gets down some... Yeah, exactly. Case in point. Crew 1. Poof. Does he get a Valki and a Celestus? Huh? Come on, give me a land, mate. Okay, Fable. And a X is 1. Mine. Thank you. What a joke. In comes the Fable. See what we get off the Tybalt. Not bad. Wow, what a weird matchup to end up against. It's like in best of 3. The last thing I was expecting. The this weird card that no one plays is reducing the attack power of my dudes. Tybalt has to be, at least for me, the most satisfying way of stealing opponents' cards. Alright. Game 1. Against something I was never expecting to play against. I was really hoping that we would get like a Jeskai Hinata matchup or whatever, so we really get to showcase the meta. That was like complete off-meta, weird jank. But still an interesting concept with the Relic Amulet. Getting rid of blockers and attacking in with the Cosima. I didn't really see a proper win con though, like actual big flashy anything. So anyway, how are we doing for time? 28 minutes. Perfect. Hopefully this time we'll end up against something a bit more, you know, from that list I showed you guys at the beginning of the video on Untapped. I think we'll probably look at Jeskai Hinata tomorrow. Which is another one of these brews that is now like dominating tournament results and all this sort of thing in best of 3, but it's losing Magma Opus, it's losing Goldspan Dragon, there's plenty of cards that are going to be gone. And like, how do you top something like Magma Opus? I don't know, so we'll have to see what they print. There's some nasty stuff you can do in Alchemy that I just, from the new set, this blue card that you like basically just take all of the opponents, or you make copies of everything the opponent has on their battlefield. It's ridiculous. I had a little run with it on the early access event. It was just ridiculous. It's so broken. Karteka. Definitely gonna play first. Oh, wow. Unbelievable. Hopefully that'll mean now we just get lands every turn. Because the rest of the cards in the hand are pretty good. Of course. Oh my lordy lord. A 2-mana hand, mulligan into a 1-mana hand. Don't make your first land drop. Sounds about right. Okay. These things happen. Let's go straight to game 2. Looks like Jund midrange. So I think burn down the house is a great idea. Against what's his name? Obnixilis. And there's probably some Seeker's Chariots in there. I think that's pretty decent. Let's try not to brick. Pretty pleased deck. That was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Ah, much better. I always love this. Like turn 2 Bankbuster, turn 3 something that can crew it. Attack. Then we'll follow it up with the Fable. Always got it. Okay, then in this case I think we're gonna get rid of it in case there is a Obnix, and we'll draw a card with the Bankbuster instead. Don't want him sacking this to Obnix straight away on turn 3, the way this deck is trying to do. I'm fairly certain I've read it correctly. And I'm fairly certain there's a Seeker's Chariot in this deck, so I think I did a fairly good job. Probably got some artifact removal, or even just an Infernal Grasp, but it's worth the risk. And if it is Infernal Grasp, he takes 2 damage, which is okay. Voltage Surge. Nice. Oh well. What can you do? At least he's not going to get to use it against something else. And we get to flip the Glutton. Unbelievable. Very nice. Very, very nice.
Are you enraptured by my beauty? Aren't I generous? I'm sure you'll miss me.
I hope I didn't just waste that Abrade and now the Seeker's Chariot hits the board. Okay. Why? I pulled the trigger way too quick there. Okay, we got the Valki. It's just take his chariot. Even if it kills our Valki.
Let fire rage.
It'll be a decent way to get back into the game. We can copy blood tokens and Fable things and stuff. Wow. Wow. What an ass. That was absolutely disgusting. We need a Meathook now, like ASAP. There's 4 in the deck. Should be okay. In that case, let's just deploy our entire hand. Can't like prey on a Meathook and then doesn't come, you know? Maybe we just block aggressively. You got the Meathook. For sure he did. Okay. You did not get the Meathook. We did. He's obviously also running 4 in the deck, so... Just do like a layer of the Hydra for 5. We don't have the mana to use Hagra Mauling. Okay, his own Fable. Did he finally get the Obnixilis? Yeah, I'm sure he did. Nah. 2 damage with the Hive. Okay. That's great top deck. Opponent. It's gonna sack his layer instead. Stepper. Should have kept that land to cycle away with a blood token, in retrospect. Again for the Obnixilis. Hello. To bolt number 2. Got him. Okay, that felt fine. That felt fine. I didn't see any Obnixilis though, so I'm gonna take our 1 burn down, put it back in the Invoke. It's just too good. But everything else felt perfect. The Abrades I wish I had more of for the Seeker's Chariots. But that's fine. That's perfect. Yeah, like one of the decks that I built since New Capenna dropped that felt the strongest to me the entire time was the 4 Tybalts, 4 Obnixilis, Rakdos midrange with the Imistrum Predator and stuff in best of 1, and I'm just so surprised that it's not stronger like that. Or I guess I was expecting to find more of it here in best of 3, but I guess for whatever reason. But yeah. Valki Tybalt is such a sweet card. I'm gonna miss that one. Come rotation. It's just expensive enough that it doesn't feel like too busted. I wonder what he's boarded in. There's no audio situation, it's just terrible. Chariot is out of there. I wonder if he goes with the Valki now, or the Bankbuster. Okay. We may need to play the Mauling as a land if we don't find another one. Just play another one, swing of the Bankbuster again, unfortunately, but at least we're getting in for damage. It's the best I can do for now. Okay, goes for the land draw. Oh, the card draw instead. A bit of respite from the onslaught from the Bankbuster. I think we'll probably just play a Graveyard Trespasser then. Finds his 4th land. You know, we're definitely going Fable. Still no land. We were both pretty strapped there. He had to dig deep. He's on 47. Thank you. This Bankbuster's cheeky, huh? It's so potent. That 4 power, 4 toughness is a real, like... And it's, like, just not good enough compared to a Seeker's Chariot to pull my removal. The Chariot's obviously the high priority target for the Abrade, but... Still don't know how to get around this. And if I have to Meathook my own guys, that's obviously not nice. Okay. Jeez. We may just have to Meathook. Like, I'm not going to bring in that Bankbuster because he's worried I have something instant speed to deal with the Bankbuster. Then he might block with one of these, which is great, I guess. But I really just wanted an additional treasure out of the whole thing. Even better. Take out the Bankbuster as well. Oh, baby. My evil plan. Now we got 2 Trespassers to sort of build a back a board state. But again, Mech Hangar. We'll discuss. I don't think we'll have time for me to make a different version and play it because it's best of 3. But I'll definitely show you what. This is a very strong deck, and there's not that much that's rotating out. So I think still probably quite a good option. That's terrible. Freaking Lolf. Could have crewed up the Bankbuster and double swung, but I'd rather have the card draw, honestly. Down to 9. Oh, good. Meathook would be great again. Even though it'll also get a huge boost. Oh, we let it go tonight. Or do we swing a ding-ding? Play the Valki next turn. Oh wow, this is dreadful. He's gonna probably voltage surge one of my guys. Opponent. Kiki Jiki is now ready to start doing Kiki Jiki things. And we still don't have the mana for a Tybalt anyway. I think Meathook is our real only solution here, at least temporarily. Because, yeah, like I said, that would give Lolth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now probably 6, because he'll copy something and it'll die. And we'll only be able to swing in for 4. We'll still be on 2 loyalty. It can't make more spiders, but that's only if we get the Meathook next turn. No idea what's going on. Okay. Whatever. Just trying to think, like, he's still got the Meathook anyway for it if he really wants to go that way. Okay. That's really strange, man. Again, a freaking Mech Hangar would be very good right now in both of our decks. Woo, baby! Yes! Get stuffed. It's 1 card, 2 life lost. And that's enough mana to draw a card of the Bankbuster and play a Valki next turn. Pretty decent. May have his own Abrade. Sure. I'm cool with that. Okay. My word. A never-ending story. Ho ho! Baby! 1, 2, 3, 7. And 2 more for a braid. Or we tap the Bankbuster, see what we get. Then we braid. And we save the Valki for next turn, when we may have something to actually protect him with. Another land was definitely not what I was hoping for. That's 3 chariots down. Okay, he's going for the full-on, like, pedal to the metal. We are gonna use this blood token now. Ooh. That's beautiful. Back up Valki as well. Take him down to 2. I hope. He may have Voltage Surge. Whew. Oh, we just lost. We just lost. Yeah, we just lost the game. Oh, what an ass. Well played. Well played. He's got the Hive. Ah, nah. That was a huge misplay on my behalf. Huge misplay. Alright, guys. Well, close. Very close. Very fun match. I had a lot of fun playing that one. unfortunate loss there right at the end. But I think if we hadn't have lost, you know, gotten flooded in the first game, we would have won the overall best of 3. But, you know, it is what it is. We still got to showcase the deck, which is the whole point of tonight. Meta Week Day 3, having a look at Rakdos Midrange in best of 3, and a real force to be reckoned with. I think my adjustments would be take out the Duress. It's too narrow. I want to play Dread Fugue. I wonder if it'll even get a reprint Duress. I mean, it tends to be a staple, but it may not. And then I want to play at least one copy of a Mech Hangar. Just the one. And then in the sideboard, I wouldn't have this many rays of enfeeblement. I may go just down 1 and put in something like a Lolth, honestly, or like in the other version of the deck that you guys saw on Untapped, there was the Sorin. I think Sorin is probably the better option at the 4-drop slot alongside the Hagra Maulings, rather than clogging up the 5-drop slot even further. So that's how I would run it. And I'm not a huge fan of the Celestus, but we didn't get to really play it once in like 6 matches there, but yeah, might take that out too and just put in like maybe a Soul Shatter in the main or something. But otherwise, yeah, like I said, very, very strong deck. I like it a lot. And I think because the majority of the cards will be sticking around, and, you know, Valki will go, but they're still Obnixilis, this could definitely still be a very serious threat after rotation. So keep your eyes on this one. But that's going to be it for tonight's video. Thank you all so much for watching, as always. It means the world to me, especially those of you who stick around to the end. You are my favorite people in the whole wide world, so thank you. I will, of course, see you all tomorrow with Meta Week Day 4. Going to probably be looking at Jeskai Hinata. We're going to probably be playing in best of 3. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Of course, join the Discord community. I'll see you all tomorrow, and until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.